Premier League action will be in full swing from Saturday evening after a week when European League action had to be halted since players were on international duties with their national teams. Rare occasions in football when countries take precedence over clubs. Away from the club competitions, Spain, Netherlands, Croatia and Italy sealed spots in the 2022-23 UEFA Nations League semi-finals. As the professional leagues resumes, there are two derbies scheduled in the Premier League this week. One is in North London and the other in Manchester. Hello and welcome to News 9 Special Premier League Predictions. I am Hardik Agrawal, News 9 Football Analyst, back with the predictions and the review of the upcoming match week. The action commences at 5 p.m. on Saturday as Arsenal host their fierce rivals Tottenham Hotspur at the Emirates Stadium. The Gunners' defeat against Manchester United has been their only loss in the season so far. Otherwise, Arsenal sit at the top of the league table with 6 wins in 7 matches. However, it would be difficult for the likes of Xhaka, Jesus, Saka and Martinelli to edge past Spurs, who haven't lost a single match in the season so far. Kane has been the top performer for Spurs with 6 goals in 7 matches. Spurs ruthlessly defeated Leicester 6-2 in the previous match week, with Son getting a hat-trick. Looking at the current form of both sides, a draw is expected in the North London derby. Manchester will be hosting the other derby of this match week at 6:30 p.m. India time on Sunday when United travel to Etihad for the match against arch-foes Manchester City. The Red Devils have been in good nick for the last few weeks ever since Erik ten Hag has made amends to his squad. They are much more effervescent at front and obdurate at the back. On the contrary, City's Erling Haaland is in unstoppable mode at the moment. He will be playing his first derby since joining the Manchester club. The fact that Martial and Rashford are sidelined can force the United manager to start with Ronaldo. That would make an interesting weekend battle between Haaland and Ronaldo. Can Ronaldo end his goal drought on this big occasion? He has scored 9 times in the last 13 matches against Pep Guardiola's teams. However, the superior manpower can see City come out on top in this one. Graham Potter's Chelsea would be up against Crystal Palace at the Selhurst Park. Potter would be in charge of Chelsea for the first time since his move from Brighton. The English manager could opt for a 4-2-3-1 formation with Aubameyang in the number 9 position and Sterling on the right flank. Chelsea could have an upper hand against Palace, who will be relying on Zaha to turn things around. Looking at the current status, the Blues could possibly get all 3 points in this one, allowing Potter to book his first Premier League win of the season. Liverpool would be up against Brighton in the Premier League match week 8. The Reds haven't been sturdy in the initial stages of the season. With just 2 wins in their first 6 matches, pressure is getting onto the players and manager. Now they face the task of dealing with the Seagulls at Anfield. It's not like they are not creating chances. They are ranked second in the shots on target per match parameter in the league with 6.5 shots, but they haven't been clinical in the final third. And they have been without the services of their key players. In the upcoming clash, Nunes and Thiago will be back in squad, giving them a major boost. News and Sports expects the Reds to emerge victorious in this one on the sheer strength of their firepower they have in their squad. Bournemouth would be looking forward to extend their unbeaten streak to 4 matches for the first time since 2018. Their interim manager Gary O'Neill has picked them up really well after their harrowing 0-9 loss to Liverpool. Regardless, Brentford are one of the strongest sides in the league in front of the goal. With the assistance of Tony and company, they could win this one against the Cherries. Fulham hosts Newcastle in the upcoming match week. The Cottagers are exceptional at home. They come into this one after a 3-2 comeback against Nottingham Forest. Conversely, Newcastle haven't been able to get the results that they deserve. They have played 5 draws so far and have just 1 win in the season as of now. The Magpies would be also without the services of Saint Maximin, Wilson, Gumares and Shelby. The scenario makes it even tough for Eddie Howe to compete against Fulham. Looking at the current form, the hosts could prevail in this one. Southampton will be locking horns with Everton on Saturday evening at 7:30 p.m. The Saints have faced two distressing losses against Aston Villa and Wolves with the identical 0-1 scoreline in the previous two match weeks. They haven't shown signs of excellence as they did in their incredible 2-1 win over Chelsea. Everton, on the other hand, booked a slender 1-0 victory over West Ham in the 7th match week, thanks to the goal from their new recruit Maupay. This was their first win of the season. Saints haven't been able to keep a clean sheet in the season so far, making them the worst defensive side in the league. More so, Everton come into this one with two consecutive clean sheets. The Toffees have a poor record against the Saints at St. Mary's Stadium, having booked just one win in their last 6 meetings. Nonetheless, looking at the current situation, we expect the Toffees to hand Southampton their third successive defeat. Diego Costa is likely to debut in Wolves' upcoming clash against West Ham. David Moyes' West Ham side have been in cataclysmic situation right now. They have not booked a victory at home in their last 6 matches. This makes the season as their worst since 2003. The Hammers have faced 5 losses in the season so far and haven't been pernicious in attack so far. Wolves undoubtedly are one of the best sides in the league defensively, but they are finding it hard to score goals up front. With Costa in their squad, that could change. Both sides are not at the top of their game currently. We expect both sides to share spoils in this one. Leeds host Aston Villa at their fortress Allen Road on Sunday evening. Villa ended their rough patch last week after booking a narrow 1-0 win over Saints. The hosts entered this game after a streak of 3 winless games. Rodrigo would be back in Leeds' squad, who uplifted them in the first 3 match weeks. Conversely, Gerrard would be without Digne and Kamara as they are out due to injury. Leeds are hard to break at home, but they would be missing their manager Jesse Marsch on the sideline because the American manager was shown a red card in Leeds' clash against Brentford. Anyway, Leeds could bag all 3 points against a depleted Villa side. Leicester City sit at the bottom of the table as they host Nottingham Forest at the King Power Stadium in the upcoming match week. Brendan Rodgers' team haven't been able to gain control of his defense. They have been conceding at the rate of 3.1 goals per match, which has been the reason of their 6 consecutive losses in the league so far. Even Forest are not at the peak of their powers, having lost their last 4 fixtures. This looks a good chance for the Foxes to book their first win of the season against the newly promoted Forest side. We expect Leicester to win in this one. That's it from this episode. If you are not able to watch these games, then you can check the updates on our News 9 live website. Thank you for watching this special episode. Do share your views with us. We'll be back next week with another episode. Until then, enjoy the beautiful game of football. Also, if you like this piece of information, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. This is Hardik Agrawal signing off.